What do you think is the key factor that everyone is able to get along or have some respect for one another?
This is a very common thing that I do hear from people, from foreigners, from tourists, from visitors that come to Malaysia. They have zero idea
Yeah.
on Malaysia.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, I make travel content. I go by PayMeInPaella. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Today I'm going to be talking about the Malaysian experience, if you should come, and what I feel about it honestly. I'm joined by a special guest. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Izzy. I'm happy to be here and let's talk more about Malaysia.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I've actually found Malaysia almost on accident. So to summarize the story, I was in Thailand and originally I was going to go to Vietnam. I had a little situation with the visa, ended up coming to Malaysia at the last minute, but I'm very glad I ended up choosing Malaysia because it's been a great experience. Right now, this is my second time out here and I hope to come back more. We're currently in Kuala Lumpur. So you being someone who's from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, how would you say the experience was like growing up here?
it's been an amazing experience for me because Malaysia is very diverse and we have Chinese communities, Indian communities, and Malays. So as I was growing up, I am influenced by all these different races, and a way of life is different in many ways. We get to learn each other's cultures, and it's been a very interesting experience growing up in Malaysia. You're always learning something new. You know, you're always learning something new. So it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good mixture as far as the food and everything. So when it comes to that, with all these different cultures in one area, when people go out to eat, do they say, hey, this is like Indian food? Hey, this is Chinese food? Or they say, this is Malaysian food? Do you mind giving a breakdown on that?
Okay, so we do have a huge variety of foods. And yes, there are placed under certain categories. Like we would know, like, okay, this is Chinese food, this is Indian food, this is Malay food. But there's also that national food, right? There's also the national food that...
Hey, hope everyone's doing well. I hate to stop the video. I really do not want to do this. I want to let the video run. However, I don't ask y'all for much, but today I'm going to ask for a little bit more. So this is a new concept I've been exploring as far as interviewing locals. I want to get a deep dive on the culture, and I know you guys don't want to hear me talk just the whole time, right? So each country I go to, what I'm thinking is I'm going to pull in a few locals, interview them, ask them some questions, have them explore the city with me, tell me about the do's and do nots. This lady, Izzy, she was very friendly, very outgoing. I loved her vibe, and I hope y'all love her as well. So this is what you can do to show me support. Make sure you like and comment the video, but also I want to help her. So I'm going to put her Instagram link in the description of this video. Finish watching the video first, of course, for the algorithm. But once the video is finished, make sure you go to her Instagram page. If you have Instagram, follow her, shout her out, and let her know you came from my page. Peace.
Food that all of us, we won't really categorize them, but we know they're influenced maybe by Chinese or Indian food, but we would call it Malay food or Malaysian food.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, I feel like for a lot of people in North America, Malaysia is kind of like a hidden gem. It's like a lot of people don't know about it. When I'm here and about, usually if I meet a foreigner, they're either from another part of Asia or they're from Europe. I don't meet too many people from like Canada or the United States, etc. So why do you think it is it's kind of hidden on our side? Like I didn't know anything before I came over here.
I am not sure, but this is a very common thing that I do hear from people, from foreigners, from tourists, from visitors that come to Malaysia. They have zero idea
Yeah.
on Malaysia. Maybe they do some Googling, they do some research, or they've seen something on social media, but apart from that, they probably have never heard of Malaysia. I'm not too sure why. Are we not doing enough? On social media, are we not sharing enough, or are we not giving the best impression to people?
Yeah, and it's a lot more open than people think. Like, even me, when I came out here, not doing any research, I remember on Instagram something pop up, saying like, hey, you have to follow certain rules, or maybe the different genders may not be able to communicate how you want to.
Yeah.
But I had a friend from Singapore, and he's telling me, like, hey, bro, it's nothing like that. Go over there and check it out. So I came to Kuala Lumpur, fell in love with it, had to come back again. But yeah, you were saying, like, off camera, some people may think that people just wear a hijab the whole time. It's not like that. We're walking outside, you see some people choose to wear it, but then some people dress differently.
And when we had this conversation off camera, I was telling you that is not the first time I'm hearing it. Like, the people that I have talked to, they seem to think that Malaysia is very conservative. And most of them are afraid to come here, mainly because they think that Malaysia is very conservative, and they were too scared to come because on maybe the way they dress, or they don't want to say the wrong things and offend the locals, right? So I was telling him, I said, that is really funny, because I do hear that a lot. Malaysia is, I would say, moderately liberal, right? It's a moderate Muslim nation. Okay, so because we're so diverse, even though 60%, so there's around 35 million people in Malaysia, and 60% are Muslims. So we cannot be that conservative because of how diverse we are, because we also have Christians and other religions as well. So we do allow them to worship on their own freedom as well, right? So in Kuala Lumpur specifically, we're quite moderate, we're quite liberal. We do all worship different, we do all have different religions. And we do respect each other's religions. When people do come here to Kuala Lumpur, so that's why you will notice, like, not everyone is in hijabs. It's an individual preference.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, like, traveling to different countries, is that once you go inside a country, there'll be subcategories or cultures. Like, for example, I was in Spain, and typically in the southern part of Spain, it's more of a relaxed, open, warm environment. And I was telling you about how the States, in the South they're like this, maybe the West is more laid back, the East is more aggressive, etc.
Yeah.
Here, you were saying that there are different states. Would you say that the behaviors and customs may be different in the different states in Malaysia?
We do have, so we have a total of 14 states. And I can tell you every state is different. 2 or 3 out of it, they're quite conservative. And if you're a local, you would know. So mostly on the East Coast, if you're a local, naturally you would already know they're quite conservative. So when you are there, you need to be aware of the local culture and the way they dress. You need to be dressed up, not covered with hijab, but at least modest wear, right? You, as a local, you would understand and you would respect that.
Yeah.
But other states, they have different customs. They even have different languages, and they're more open. They're more open, especially like where we are now, Kuala Lumpur. So they're more open.
And you mentioned the different groups as far as like Chinese, Indians, Malays, and others. What do you think is the key factor that everyone is able to get along or have some respect for one another?
I want to say the common denominator here is food.
I think there's a quote about that. It says something about food brings people together.
Yeah. And it's true. In Malaysia, in KL, I think because food does bring everyone together.
Yeah. The food out here is amazing.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter which race you are, we embrace and enjoy each other's cuisines. And I think that's one of the first thing, which is food,
Yeah.
right? And also cultures, we also embrace each other's cultures as well. Like if it's, for me, I'm Malay, so I celebrate Eid, right? And if there is the Indian celebration, like I wouldn't mind to be wearing the Indian traditional outfit. So we do embrace each other's culture and
cool.
traditions and culture. We do embrace it. So I think that's something that brings us together as well.
And one question I got on social media, someone's reaching out to me and saying, like, how do you feel being a African American there? For me personally, I think it's cool here. I never experienced any racism, discrimination. I kind of feel like everyone minds their own business. It's kind of like, we're over here, you're doing your thing, we don't care, right? So I like this vibe because I made earlier videos about my experience in like somewhere like Japan or Korea. Maybe it was less favorable, but out here, I love it. I think it's dope in that sense.
But I'm glad that you have had a great experience, right? So that's good. That's why I was like, good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I wanted to ask locals about the different states as well, because I am curious to see more, but I also want to know information. I don't want to just walk in blindly, because I originally walked here blindly to Kuala Lumpur and it turned out good, but just want to have that extra precaution, that extra safety. But speaking of safety, would you say this is a place where going to the solo female travelers that they can feel comfortable, like nothing would happen, or for the most part? Or?
I would say it's safe. I would say it's safe, but again, you just need to be aware of your surroundings, and you need to be careful, just as how you would travel anywhere else, right? Don't take things lightly, and if you are feeling a bit like something is wrong, just follow your instinct. Don't do it, right? But for the most part, Malaysia is safe. Malaysia is safe for solo female travelers. Any travelers, we're quite good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So if foreigners are watching this video now and they're like, okay, I'm thinking about moving to Malaysia, you can give the price either in the local currency or USD or euros, but how much do you think, if they wanted to live a good lifestyle in the city, how much would you think they need a month?
Within the city itself, to be comfortable, and I would say around a month, let's say around $2,000 to $2,500.
Okay.
Yeah. US dollars?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That you will be very comfortable. You will have a nice place and you'll be able to have good food and maybe, spend it on things to do and so that would be a comfortable amount. $2,000 to $2,500 US dollars a month within the city center.
Now, what if they were somewhere like on the east side, like Kuching or something like that?
On the West Peninsula, Sabah and Sarawak, right? On the west. On the East Peninsula. Yeah. It is slightly cheaper. It is slightly cheaper. But then again, now because it's that part of Malaysia, the Borneo side of Malaysia is getting more popular and more tourists. So I believe that the cost must be higher as well.
Gotcha.
Maybe the same with Kuala Lumpur. I know it was very cheap before, but now it's getting more and more popular with tourists. And naturally, when some place becomes very popular, the tends to be a bit more expensive. The prices tends to rise.
True.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What are some things people should know before they come to Malaysia? Like, they don't want to offend the locals. They want to make sure they're doing everything correctly. What are some things they should know?
We're very welcoming. We're very friendly. I can tell you that. But what you need to know is that because we're religiously we're diverse. There's so many different religions. I think is if you are visiting the holy areas, like all the churches and the mosques and temples, it's always keep in mind that you have to, cover up or dress in your modestly. Like, That would be it. I mean, people would not judge you because they know you're a tourist.
Yeah.
But just out of respect, that's just something that, I think everyone, it's a good to know. Like if you do come to Malaysia and you do want to visit all the mosques and church and temple, like just make sure that you're respectfully like dressed up and when you go there.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate that. I just have one last question. When people think of like Mexico, they may think of like burritos, they may think of tacos, enchiladas. When people think of Turkey, maybe they think of the shawarmas. What are some foods here that you would say are like a national dish or like the biggest foods they must try if somebody comes?
I was waiting for this question. I was waiting for it. Nasi lemak.
Yeah.
That is a must-have, and that's something that.
Good.
Yeah, he tried it. It was good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So nasi lemak is a must-have when you come to Malaysia. It is our national food.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate that. And what's your Instagram?
Where on earth is Izzy?
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And y'all have a nice day.